Hey guys, it's TTL back with another video for you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new MSI Z170 Titanium board. Now they did just recently bring out the new X99 MPOWER board, and that's where the new aesthetic come from. So I'm really glad that they did bring out the new Z170 board. This is the original Z170 board, and as you can see, when you look at the two, this newer one does give it a much more modern aesthetic. So if we move everything out the way and we come in to have a look, first thing that I do want to point out to you, and it was something that didn't necessarily jump at me straight away, it took me a little while to realise, and that's the first PCI Express slot is actually down here. Now this is technically slot number 3. We have an M.2 where the normal top PCI Express would be, and that goes up to the 110mm. We do have a second one down here which does the normal kind of length 80. So by the normal, I mean if you're running a Kingston M.2 or you've got one of the Samsung 950s or something, or an SM951, that is that length. But you do have two now, so you've got the longer one and another normal one. Also, one thing I will say is that we've got what they call the titanium guard, which runs down the side of the board, which is part of the new aesthetic. This is actually plastic though, it's not metal, it's not made of titanium, just like they say that you've got the titanium backplate on the back of the board. The backplate on here is actually steel. Obviously titanium costs an immense amount of money, but it's just part of the naming and the branding. Heat sinks normal aluminium as well, and you've got the aluminium covers on them. I actually like these new covers. I think they look really nice, and I do like the way that it does carry down onto what I would call the South Bridge or the chipset heatsink as well. All kind of matches in kind of nice, same sort of designs. It's all kind of, it's understated, but the PCB is the kind of the shouty bit where it is that silver. It's like a glittery silver, and it's one of those ones where when you first see it in pictures and the like, you're generally not that sure about it, but it's an immense grower. Once you've had one, or you've seen one, or your mate gets one, something you might want as well. It's a shame that they've not got a titanium range of graphics cards yet, because I think if you had an all-in-one design, almost like the old original twin Frozer graphics cards, where they had that grey heatsink, we kind of need that to come back, because at the moment MSI are only really producing their red gaming graphics cards. So we need something to go with this to keep all the branding nice. We've got all the motherboards looking the same now. Let's get some graphics cards in as well. Things to point out, they spent a lot of time on the beefing up of the DDR4, so your memory side of things. You've even got like the memory steel supports, just like you've got the steel supports on the graphics. This with the graphics, they say the signal is a lot better and you've got a lot better support with the actual metal side of it. Now, it's obviously going to be better than the just the bare plastic, but I personally look at these kind of additions as it kind of fitting in with the aesthetic of the grey board a little bit more. Other things to point out that we do have, the whole thing is scattered with their mystic lights. There's little LEDs and RGBs scattered all around, all over the place, all underneath the heatsink at the end of the PCI Express. So they're scattered around the board. You've also got some little telltale lights at the top so that you know what's going on with the PCI poster at the top. We have a scattering as well of fan headers, one there, one there, one there. There's another 2 down the bottom as well, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5 in total. We have USB Type C on the back here for when the cases catch up. We have a vertical and a horizontal USB 3. 4 SATA connectors down here, but we've also got a U.2 as well. They're the horizontal ones, but we do have a couple of vertical extra ones on a separate ASMedia, I think, chip down at the bottom. These are the ones on the actual chipset. These have got a little add-in card. One normal USB 2 down the bottom. There is a little add-on at the bottom of the motherboard so that you can connect your RGBs, you know, like your cables and your strips. you can connect that cleverly in the motherboard box as well. You've got 2 different length extenders as well, and that's so you can plug these in here, and then you can use the extenders to, rather than having your RGBs come straight from the motherboard, you've got a couple of different lengths that you can choose from, that you can then have it so that it's, maybe you want the RGB on the floor of your case or in the roof of your case to light things up better. So they've thought about that, and that deserves them a big thumbs up as well. Now, with all these little bits and bobs, you may think that it would end up costing a lot of money, but MSI have told me that these are going to be coming in around the £210 mark. Now, for a Z170 board, that isn't one of the cheaper end ones. I'd actually say it's one of the kind of mid-price ones. The decent ones start from around the kind of 160 mark. So this is the upper medium level of Z170 boards before things get mental and you go up into the ridiculous boards. So I think personally that with this you're paying a lot for that uniqueness of the colour, and if you were to choose the rest of your system components correctly, you could end up with an amazing looking system. But for now at least, from me and Lucky the Dragon, out.